Welcome back. It is week 3, episode 3 of Talkin Shop. We have the usual suspects here: Nathan McDivitt, Dalton Yates, Blake Walter, all wondering if we're going to get back in the shop or bring someone else into the fold this season. Guys, how are we doing?
What's up?
Doing great. Doing great.
Horrible.
Tough week for some of us. Tough week for some of us. But yeah, that's obviously a big talking point. So we're not even gonna have any fluff. We're gonna get right into it today. Weekly recap. Let's just talk week 3. What happened? What were some big things that we saw? Nathan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, man. This league has been really about there's been 9 teams for a really long time, as far as I've been concerned. And I was really excited to be introduced to the 10th team this week. Evan had just an absolute monster of a week, and man, his team way outperformed probably even what he dreamed of whenever he drafted or whenever that team was created. Because I didn't realize he was in the league until this week. So congrats, Evan.
Welcome.
Let it be known that last week I did call that Evan was going to get on the board for the first time, and he led the league in points. Now, granted, he was only 5 points ahead of Laster, which I think went unnoticed. Laster scored 169, 170, somewhere in there.
Sneaky good.
You know.
I'll piggyback off that, Nathan. I was just stands out as we had 5 guys score 140. I mean, that's insane. I don't know if it was just that week. I mean, some guys obviously had a good week, but I mean, nobody except for Wyatt really had a bad week. And of course, that was the guy who plays, the guy who puts up 174. But man, Wyatt, you got some problems to solve. And
Yeah.
I know that's tough talk coming from a guy that's 0-3. But I think we both got some things we need to figure out. But hey, you made a trade. So did I. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's me. Just big weeks from a lot of teams, and from a guy like me who's 0-3, it is very, very scary, and I'm very fearful that I won't be able to find a way to win these games if these guys keep putting up 150.
Blake,
Yeah, I would
question.
again. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's go back to draft night. You're looking at your team. I give me a percentage chance you think that your team's 0-3 at this point. I'm not trying to rub salt in the wounds. I just think that a lot of us are surprised.
10%.
Yeah.
I think very, very low. Aaron Rodgers getting hurt and Garrett Wilson and that whole thing hurt.
That's a lot.
I thought he was going to be like wide receiver 1, to be honest. So, anyways, yeah, hurts big time.
I will just segue into that big separation week. And I mean, just from a guy who's not in that tier looking ahead, like you said, we've had some moves happen. I think Dalton predicted it last week. We were going to have some trades, had a few big ones, had a few ones that existed. And, people are making moves. And so I think there's more to be had because I think guys like me, a little bit of Blake, but guys who are kind of entering panic mode, kind of tiptoeing through that doorway, we realize if we don't do something drastic, we'll be left behind by these 140 plus scorers. So again, I just think these next 2 weeks are going to be very revealing for the rest of the season. That's my outlook. So Dalton.
Yeah, I think I just kind of covered mine. I was just going to talk about Evan's week. Mostly just to brag the fact that I got something right, but not so much to brag on Evan. He'll do that clean enough on his own.
He will.
Well,
with that, we'll transition to winners then. Winners of the week. I'll go real quick. Mine's not really super exciting, but just big name receivers did big name things. Jamar Chase finally had his breakthrough moment, which we knew was coming. I guess I heard on the broadcast that Jamar Chase's family kind of got involved in saying that he wants the ball a little bit more. So they decided to target him 15 times, and it looks like it worked. So good job there. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, the big name guys did what they always do. Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. I mean, there's a ton of them that just the usual suspects you think are going to do big things, they did big things. So they're the winners. If you have one of those guys, you're probably sitting really good right now.
Yeah, I'll go off that. A-Chain. What? I mean, they did got 1 point through 2 weeks, and then he drops a 50 burger. Also, if any I'm interested in upgrading my RB2. If anybody's interested in Devon A-Chain, he's obviously available. Please hit the line if you're interested. Deals can and will be made. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be a stranger, guys. But that was insane. And just the Dolphins offense in general, obviously, I think is a big hero. The speed is absurd. I mean, they've got guys all over the field that can literally, they touch the ball, they can score. And, just speed kills. And it's the one thing you can't coach. So, yeah, the Dolphins and Devon A-Chain specifically, I would say heroes.
Well, you covered mine. I had Mr. Raheem Mostert himself. The like epitome of sell high just exploded in a way that was vindicating and for me in some senses. There were some guys who may have disrespected the name of Mostert. Maybe I'm disrespected because I can't say his name right, but either way, dude. He had 45 points and he was second on his team in points. So I think that's hilarious. But he's the only one who actually scored for fantasy football this week. So I think he was my hero.
I think Britt Ryan really could take the hero award for the fact that he was pushing Mostert before all this happened, and so he looks like the football genius he is.
I love that this year the whole bit about pushing trades through at 4 a.m. Like so many people have got on there.
Oh man!
Like that is my favorite thing to come out of the season so far.
Yeah. Hats off to Brett. It's like he got a job in ministry, and now he doesn't really like have to do a whole lot except for check fantasy football. And
wow, ouch.
I'm talking about myself too.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, speaking of that, zeros of the week. Did everybody get their hero? Sorry, Dalton.
Let me get mine real quick. I did want to point out Evan's defense, Buffalo, they had 4 picks and 1 fumble recovery and only held their opponent to 3 points. So that was my hero of the week. But again, we've piled on Evan enough as it is. So.
There have been some defenses that have changed the game. Like defense, there's been some insane scoring nights from defenses. You don't usually see multiple 30-point defensive performances this early in the season. But
it's kind of like one team, one defense pops off a week at this point. It's like, who's it going to be? So we'll see.
Yeah. We will see. Dalton, go.
I'll start with zeros. Going off of defenses, I'd say the Cowboys. I mean, walk into this game as 12.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
And you lose. You lose to Josh Dobbs and the Cardinals.
Beautiful.
I know you lost. I know they lost Trayvon Diggs, but I mean, still, we're talking the Arizona Cardinals here with Josh Dobbs, the astrophysicist at quarterback.
Doesn't even have a jersey on the web in the team store.
Yeah, I mean, literally. So, I'd say that's my zero. I mean, as a Cowboys defense, I was literally last week talking about how great they were, and then they go ahead and prove me wrong. So, I wish. I've lost hope in my team. I wish they'd prove me wrong. But, I guess it'll just be the Cowboys defense that does.
But, when you have a loaded team and you can afford some slip-ups like that, Nathan wins with a -2 points on his defense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah, the combined 90 helped.
True.
Not bad.
That definitely does.
Bad.
It does a little bit.
It was a net 88, so, I mean, I think –
Speaking of high-scoring offenses, I'll go. Joshua Kelly, who I thought I was so savvy for picking up on the waiver wire. I love getting handcuff running backs because I just feel so justified when they have a chance to shine. And when Austin Eckler was healthy, Joshua Kelly rushed for 91 yards and I think 2 touchdowns, maybe just 1. But when he decided to, nurse this injury and get it healthy, and Josh Kelly is the guy, I don't think he's rushed for 91 combined yards the last 2 games. And has been very mediocre as a compliment. I don't think mediocre is a bad enough word for what he's been for my fantasy team. So definitely a loser of the week, guy you think you count on for starting running back production. And you could list off a lot of names you probably never heard of to have more fantasy points than him the last 2 weeks.
If
Not
we're
good.
hitting struggling running backs, and we're not going to talk about Derrick Henry, which it pains me. I love King Henry. He is my guy, but he and that entire Titans offense, it is abysmal. It is abysmal. I don't even know. Like, oh man, it's almost like if they started 6 linemen, like just started a left tackle and a left right tackle, or a right left tackle. They start that that's the only way they're going to get positive yard. Like I don't even. I think they're in the mode where they just need to change everything up and start 6, just like legitimately make 6 starting offensive linemen. But I think, man, I feel bad for Wyatt because, yeah, to have it's one thing to go through injury, like, but nobody would have expected, even if you thought Derrick Henry, he's old, he's got a lot of miles, nobody would have thought he'd be this bad for, I guess it's only week 3, we're going to week 4, but yeah, he man, talk about a zero. I love the guy, but man, what is he? He got out touched by Spears this last week. Not great. Not great.
Well, 2 points. 2 points. Not what we've come to see from King Henry. That's for sure.
Daggum right. What's up, buddy?
Dalton, where we at, man?
I had to move out of that. My phone is about to die, so I'm charging in my car real quick.
That's just real dedication.
Yeah.
I love
Should
it.
we revisit Hero of the Week and just throw Dalton in there just for this?
I think so.
I appreciate that.
The commish, man. Dalton, who is your zero of the week?
I think for me, my zero, man, I want to go with the entire state of Colorado, just as an institution. You look at guys that have got a reputation, kind of a stand-up reputation. You look at Deion, you look at Sean Payton, just getting molly-whopped over here, man. Just straight up pistol whipped. I saw a video going viral of the mascot. Did y'all see it when he came out with the baseball bat and just beat up the clock because like prime time, and then like his head fell off. It was so stupid. So I was expecting like that level of corniness did not translate over to the beat down that went on. Bo Nix is 104 years old, but he to me, I hope he quieted down a little bit of that. But even more than that, you look at Broncos Nation, the way they just got hoodooed, man. Like nobody saw. I think that was one of only 7. There's only 4 70-point games in NFL history, and the fact that one of them got put up against Sean Payton is ridiculous. But anyway, Colorado bum week for the state of Colorado.
I have a question for y'all. So I think the NFL record is 72 points, and McDaniel had a chance to kick a field goal for 73. Would you have kicked the field goal, or would you have knelt it out?
I absolutely kicked the field goal.
I kicked the field goal. That's the record. That's an NFL record.
Yeah,
Damn.
we're talking about uncharted waters. This isn't like, I mean, that's something that might not ever be broken.
Yeah.
You don't just get that opportunity every week.
I agree.
I definitely had Scorigami, the website. Some of y'all nerds will get that one.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was one. Sure, it had to have been.
It was a Scorigami.
Mm-hmm.
We've been blessed. There's been a lot of Igamis this week. We've been blessed.
Maybe that's a new
in the first 3 weeks.
We could visit the Scorigamis of the week.
Igami.
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. The Igamis. All right, real quick.
I need you to get on a Scrantasy Scorigami grid built out.
Ooh, yeah.
Cooper.
Pass more. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, real quick, we're going to do our Sunday headlines. We'll do these somewhat briefly, and then we're going to introduce a new segment to the shop. But would love to hear y'all's headlines moving into week 4. So does anybody
I'll go first.
This
episode, whatever this is, it's felt a little bit of a downer. And so I'm gonna inject some positivity. I think the shop gets at least 2 wins this week. And I don't know that I'm the one. I have confidence in you guys. And so I think well Dalton won't lose, but I think the shop goes 2-1 or 3-0 this week.
It's a good one, man.
I'll go.
Is this your hot take or your Sunday
No,
headline?
that's my headline.
Wow.
We're watching the shop.
My headline is I have become death, destroyer of hope. That is me. I am Oppenheimer. I have become death. I have nothing I walk in every Sunday and I think there's no shot I could win. I've gotten to the point I view my fantasy team the same way I view the Minnesota Vikings winning a Super Bowl or the Minnesota Twins winning a World Series. I've gotten to a point where a freaking win, seems impossible. I don't see
Look,
a
man.
route. I don't see the route. But the thing is, I feel like the pieces are there. I don't feel like I'm not just trading them all off. I don't think I'll come in last. But right now, a win seems so impossible to me. It doesn't seem feasible. It doesn't seem like it can actually happen. And look at who I got this week.
Yeah.
Freaking, I'm staring down the barrel of freaking to infinity and Bijan with freaking Laporta putting up 10 a week at least. And that was like the weakest part of this team, supposedly. But yeah, I have become death to short of hope. I am nothing.
I
That's all I
would
got.
argue that you're more dangerous. I would argue you want to lose.
No.
Change that something could snap.
I don't think
Also,
another
take it
loss
from me, man.
solves this problem.
Last year, I lost something like 12 in a row. But my most proud fantasy moment is putting Wyatt in the lemonade stand. So, like, it ain't over till it's over, you know?
There's glory to be had all throughout Scrantasy season. That is very true.
I'm in Nuketown.
Dalton, you go. If you can.
He's frozen in mine, and it looks really funny.
Tough, man. He's frozen everywhere. It's going to be our thumbnail. Dalton, we hope to get you back. I'm going to go ahead and go then. My headline is that the rich get richer. I think the gap just widens. I think the teams got stronger this week that are already strong. And I'm fairly similar. I think I have a lot less hope than you do, especially after last night. We will not talk about it. But yeah, it looks bad. I'm going against G and the Superstars, and we'll just see how that goes.
The Monstars.
The Monstars, man. I do feel like there's like a top shelf of the league, and they are not slowing down anytime soon. So this could be a game changer. Okay, so we're about to introduce a new segment. I really hope Dalton can get back on for the sake of time. And I told our guest I'd be calling him in a second. I'm going to introduce this before he gets on here. We're going to have 2 minutes of terror coming up here. We have 2 minutes of terror. We're going to call Evan Hubbard. He's going to have 120 seconds of freedom. So Evan has a really good team. He has a lot of momentum. He has some W's, and a lot of those things have not happened in the past couple of years of Scrantasy. And so he is riding a major high, and we're just going to let him have the floor. Just upon request.
Just to clear the air, he has a single W, but
he has 120 seconds that we have to sit and take whatever he says. So I'm going to call him, or I'm going to invite him, and we'll have him on. We'll ask him how he thinks his season's going. We'll give him 120 seconds, and then he's out because he's merely visiting the shop. He's not a part of the shop. So we'll see how this goes. I'm sure he'll be on in just a second, but I did beat Evan Hubbard before my team went to the sewers. So I just want to make that very clear. Shout out Michael Thomas for that. Is Dalton getting back on?
Man, who knows?
Let's just go without it. I mean, we'll go.
Here's Dalton.
We haven't.
I think.
There he is.
He's back.
He's back.
Look, we're going to have a weekly segment where I just leave at a random.
I'd like to leave during this next segment.
I know you have to stay. You have to, especially you. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious, the man with momentum, Mr. Evan Hubbard. How you doing?
Oh, how's it going, guys?
Evan, welcome to the shop, man. Give us a 30-second synopsis first of just how you're feeling, how you're doing, and how you think the Pollard Greens are doing so far.
Yeah, pretty excited about the way that we're playing right now. This week was a good week. Put up 170. highest in the league so far. So it's hard to not be confident when you're putting up 170.
All right. Well, Evan, we have a special segment here. You have literally 120 seconds of time to say whatever you want, mostly fantasy football related. But
Preferably fantasy football related.
Listen, man, the floor is yours in 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes.
Just want to start off this conversation and let everyone know that Jonathan Taylor is not for sale for a bag of rocks. I think I've had about 6 people offer me anywhere from a third-string running back to other people out for the season. So just want to start off and say that. Man, this feels really good, being here with you guys. Maybe some of the winner's mentality, some of the success that you guys have had will rub off onto me. When you put up 170, a lot of people ask you for trade. So that's what I mean. My inbox has just been flowing this week. So appreciate you guys for that. Man, it just makes you feel really good. Makes you know that
minute. 1 minute, let's go.
You drafted a really good team, knowing that everybody wants your guys. I'll just take this time just to really relax, and hopefully we put up another good week.
Do you have anything to say to Nathan specifically in the last 30 seconds?
No, we've had some really good conversations this last couple weeks. There's still a rivalry there, but I think it's a pretty healthy rivalry at this point. Not a lot of bad blood right now.
Wow, that's some maturity. Hey, let's give a round of applause for Evan Hubbard. Anything else? Any final words?
No. You guys.
All right. Well, that was Evan Hubbard, ladies and gentlemen, beloved member and friend of Scrantasy. Dalton is back again. We've had some trouble with Dalton this week.
I hate that he missed that.
Oh man, he'll see it again.
He can watch it if he needs to.
He'll watch it on YouTube. Dalton, you missed a show, man. Evan,
I'll go back and listen to it.
A little bit more gracious and mature than I honestly thought. I kind of wanted him to go scorched earth, and he did not. But
I see him before spot.
Shout out Zoe McDivitt on the show. All right, hey, we're gonna wrap up here. Weekly hot takes. I'm gonna give one. I'm not even gonna give any context. This is just where I have to be, not where I am, where I have to be. Jahmyr Gibbs will be in the second half of the season a top 15 PPR running back. Yes, he will. This hill I am dying on.
This manifestation
I'm literally turning to juju and manifestation for this. It's going to happen. So that's my hot take. We'll see if it works. We can toss my Lamar one out because that's probably not going to happen. Jahmyr Gibbs will come back. Who's next?
Sorry, Nathan. I didn't mean to expose your daughter to a nuclear bomb.
That's okay. She thought you were playing Floor's Lava, so you were good. We're safe.
Okay, sweet. My hot take, guys. I mean, I feel this way, but I still believe in my guys. I think Olave's a dude, and I've been getting a lot of it reaching out about Chris Olave. I've got 3 or 4 guys hitting my line asking for the guy. So, guy's a ball player. I think he finishes top 7 this season. I'm high on him. If
with
anybody
Jameis? With
Clark's
Jameis?
coming back at some point.
Okay.
Hey, Jameis will toss it around. Hey, Olave doesn't get negative points for Jameis throwing picks. That's all I know.
Just think if you counted his yardage like on the interception returns, like he probably throws for Jameis probably throws for 600 a game.
Easy.
Oh my gosh. Nathan, your hot take.
Yeah, I think, man, and this hurts because I love the Titans. I'm a Titans fan, but I think that Henry is I think he might get traded. But for sure, I think that Spears out touches him for the year. A lot of that's because we'll be playing from behind and on third down. He's a pass catching back, but I would have never thought that would be the case. But hot take is Spears is a viable, well, not a viable option. That's not true. But he's going to be very comparable to King Henry.
All right. Well,
I think it's good. And we're going to finish up. I was about to say, we're going to finish up, Dalton. The end is yours. You can do a hot take, and then we're excited for these rankings. You're going to wrap us up today.
Before I get into the power rankings, I do have one hot take. Just catch me next week when I'm right. We're going to have a 4-way tie, tied at 3-1 for first place after this week. So just if you're sitting at 2-1, know you've got it locked up.
Good to know. Good to know.
So
I'm 4.
I'm getting the L.
4 inbound.
Okay. Secondly, I've been workshopping this a little bit. This is gonna be a recurring segment. It's not gonna be every week, but I want to introduce, as it sits right now, the current power rankings of who would be best able to, not necessarily who is the most likely to, but who is the best power rankings for the triathlon, the coffee, donuts, miles ran at the end of the season. This is not necessarily the people that I think that are going to finish last place, but these are the people that I think, if they were so unlucky to, that they could complete it. And I'm going to start at 3 and work my way up to 1. So at number 3, you may be questioning this at first, but I'm going to put in Mr. Wyatt Milliken. And here's how I think this is going to go. Do I think Wyatt would try to do it some type of way and not necessarily complete it because he took like 7 months to do a simple lemonade stand? Yes. But I think that's actually his strength here, because knowing him, he's just going to like not play by the rules, just go run a marathon on some random Sunday morning and not tell anybody about it and just call that his 25. So knowing him, I think that's a good chance. And honestly, he's probably the most likely to repeat, be the first repeat loser in Scrantasy history. Second, I've actually got a tie between Mr. G. Lopez and Mr. Britt Ryan. G, dog, I think he could be, as far as when it comes to coffee, ability to put down donuts and run, maybe the most middle of the pack on all 3. He's well-rounded. He knows his coffee. But more importantly, Britt Ryan, I think, has got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for his underwhelming performance in the Waffle House. Okay? He gets the
That's a good point.
Thrown at him a lot. I think
that's
if
a good
Britt
point.
was to be so unlucky, and I don't think he will, but if he's so unlucky to come in last place, that man is going to put on a coffee and donut show for the ages. May not even run a mile. He may get 30. He may get 35. You just don't know.
Britt, I dare you to come in last to see if you can outdo yourself from the last punishment. I dare you. I dare you to trade all your value, all your assets away to come in last, so that way you can see if you can.
Give me Cooper
I don't
Cup
think
back.
you can eat more donuts than you did waffles. I don't think you can do it.
Give me Cooper Cup. Who's number 1? Who's number 1?
Number 1 is going to go to Mr. Bradley Toon. And here's why I think that is. I don't think you're going to come in last.
I do.
But I think if you do, you are, because of your running ability, I think you're ready at a moment's notice. The fact that you are a 2-time dad also, I think, gives you the ability to come up. You're going to knock down 5 or 6 donuts and 4 or 5 cups of coffee first thing in the morning. I think you're going to do it without breaking sweat. So I'm just saying, as it sits right now, I'm not taking anybody before I take Bradley Toon in the triathlon.
I'm going to say this. It is a shot to my ego as somebody who's prided himself on staying in the upper half of the league ever since Scrantasy's kind of existed. But I will say, if there was a consequence I would actually look forward to trying, it would definitely be this one. So if this is the year, then it's got to be
loser
the year.
talk.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm down bad. I'm down real bad, boys. I'm in a tough
never
spot.
say never.
That's loser talk.
I went to the championship 3 out of 4 years. And then
I'm in a bad way,
wins.
guys. I'm in a bad way. Loser talk is real.
I'm the definition of loser talk right now. Everything I say is loser talk. None of my teams have won a game, NFL, fantasy, anything. I am loser talk.
Well, to wrap up, I know that half of this shop has had some tough weeks recently. So really, Nathan, you could have gloated a lot more. Thank you for your humility as being
I'm
on
the most
top
humble
of the
person
league.
I know.
Obviously. Evan also. I know we mess with Evan a lot. You deserve some compliments. You got a good team. You nuked the league this week.
Yeah.
Congrats, for real.
I expected that to go differently. I also that was not what I had in mind for power rankings, and I enjoyed it. But I enjoyed it. I guess I should say I enjoyed it probably more than I would have the other.
Time to time.
I'll say this: if Blake and I win this next week, this will be a whole different vibe for the shop. I promise. So
I just need to see one go in. Just need to see one go in.
See one go down, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Talkin' Shop. We love you guys. More special guests to come. More fun segments to come. We'll see you next time.